no, are we?
Yeah, this is the last one.
Yes. All right. We save the best for last. I know, and you guys have such fun, like.
You guys have good cameras. Yeah, I like that. That one's the coolest.
Yeah,
for sure.
That
That one's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean, but they're color coordinated. Did you guys get to see the show?
I
It was
I'm
saw
really
a
interested.
30-second trailer of some kind when I was doing my research online, but yeah.
Well, you're in for
So tell us all the things. We want to know all the
You
things.
start. What things, for those who saw it, do you want to know?
Sweet Vicious is a millennial lens into two superhero badass characters who fight crime, who come together in the most unlikely way. Two very different leaders, being Eliza and Taylor. And you get this very girls meets Quentin Tarantino perspective.
Ooh, I like that description.
Thank Stacey Sher for that. And I don't think
Jen
that,
Robinson.
or
you guys have
Jen,
already
yeah,
said,
exactly. And I don't think there's any show out there that gives you that millennial lens. And as Stacey was talking about earlier at the Comic-Con panel, Sweet Vicious is one of those shows that gives justice to that millennial perspective, where I think there's not enough shows on TV that allow that millennial voice to really resonate and have color and texture and diversity and depth. And every character in this show is three-dimensional. They have so much that they bring. They come from such diverse backgrounds. And I think you really see a change happen with each character that's unlike any on TV. And it's real. It's organic. It comes from a place of sincerity. And we deal with real issues, from sexual assault to race relations to just kick-ass fight scenes.
I see your Sons of Anarchy shirt on. And our stunt coordinator was the stunt coordinator on Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. And worked with me on Into Badlands too. So we have some cool fights for these people, for these superhero ladies to do some butt kicking. Because I didn't know if I could say it. Okay, ass kicking.
What's your favorite part of filming the pilot?
I think from top to bottom, everything was exciting. From watching the words come alive to actually seeing such an innovative look into really, really strong-willed individuals. And I think the color of the show is so colorful, and there's so much texture. And I really think there's not one moment that you watch the show where you're not on the edge of your seat. You're not wondering what's going to happen next, who's going to pop into the story and change things up, where's it going? And I think when you have a concept like that that is so multi-pronged, you can do nothing but be excited about what's going to happen next.
One of the things that was my favorite thing about the pilot, aside from the fact that we were getting to make it, was the pilot particularly is the only time that the creator, showrunner, EP, and director of a network show have all been women. And now, when we went from a half hour to a 1 hour, Rebecca Thomas, who directed the pilot, wasn't available because she was working on a movie, and so the show was co-directed by Joseph Kahn, who did the second episode and did an amazing point, but did two great episodes. But we all sat around, and someone said, and also our line producer on the pilot was a woman. We sat in Video Village, and it was just women. And,
which I loved, by the way.
But you know, that doesn't happen that often. And in fact, we later found out it had never happened before. So it was great. It was pretty special.
How was the process from changing the show from a half hour to an hour? Did you run into any issues that you didn't see coming?
I would say the greatest challenge was time, because we didn't have a lot of time to shoot. So we kind of did snuck stuff into the pocket of other episodes, you know. It was a great gift that MTV gave to us to have us move from a half hour to an hour, because what they rightfully said is there's too much character, these issues are too serious, and yeah, it's kick-ass, and yeah, it's funny, and yeah, it's all of those things, but take time to develop the characters. And that was, it didn't take Jen very long to expand because she knows who these people are so well. It really became about, we had 2 days to add additional photography. And just, what you had 9 days to shoot, you doubled in 2 days. So, like I said, you were like sneaking a scene in the pocket of another episode, peeling it off.
Now, Brandon, not so long ago, you were on like Disney shows. How much did you take from learning?
And
as
FX shows.
And FX
Yes,
shows.
yes.
How much did you take from learning as like a young actor to bring it to like a law student for something that's a lot more serious in a TV show like this?
It was a lot. I think obviously being on Disney for the years and years and years that I was blessed to be a part of that network really prepared me for the rigorous content that I'm dealing with now at Sweet Vicious. And even in my time over at FX on You're the Worst, those hours and hours and hours, such dynamically different characters. My character on the Disney shows is very young and spirited and, kind of a bit of a wild card. And then my character on You're the Worst is in your face, raw, Justin Bieber meets Kanye West. And then you've got Harris on Sweet Vicious, who represents everything, like Stacey Sher said earlier, can be great and that is great about the American culture, which is the resilience, hopefulness, and most importantly, sincerity. And I think Harris really, really embodies those qualities of what it takes to be an American, And I think my experience on Disney Channel and FX and, even going to play Little Richard and Get On Up, all of those experiences really prepared me for something as serious as this character, Harris, coming from a single parent home, dealing with race relations, feeling like the outcast, feeling like his voice didn't matter. I think this is the culmination of all of those problems.
I'll tell you what was really exciting for me in watching Brandon's transformation. I think that in all this work that he's done, he got really, really good at cocooning himself with a character or an affect or Little Richard, and he was very careful being this other and fronting. And it was a beautiful process watching him courageously strip away all of those layers to play someone that was much closer to himself and who had more of the issues that Harris's life resembled Brandon's life a lot more than any of the other characters he's ever played or the ways he presented himself. And it was beautiful watching his scenes, particularly as you go later in the season, are really emotional and raw and honest and really about his experience growing up in America and wanting to succeed.
Entirely. It was a journey, like she said, stripping away, putting a character on, being a human. That's what Harris is. Harris is a humanitarian. Harris is that sign of hope. Harris knows turmoil like I do. I've almost been killed 11 times growing up where I grew up. And I think that resilience is a quality that every American, every person in the world should really try and replicate. Never give up. Harris never gives up. Stay true to yourself. Harris stays true to himself. Love, wholeheartedly. Harris loves wholeheartedly. Even when Ophelia wants him to smoke a joint, he's like, listen, okay, maybe one hit. You know what I mean? But he's one of those characters who really, I think, America will find a piece of themselves in Harris.
You spoke a little bit about the show being a millennial lens, and I think millennials tend to get a bad rap as being, apathetic, disaffected, disinterested. Can you tell me a little bit about how you think the show is really going to flip that on its head and show, maybe older audiences too, a little bit, what it really means to be a millennial?
I definitely think so. I think Sweet Vicious definitely show older audiences, younger audiences, what it is to be millennial, what it is to be courageous. And I think if I could have one word that, the synonym for millennial, courage. And that's what this show truly embodies. The courage and the resilience of millennials. And the fact that we can be diverse, we can be, flawed, but we can also be great.
Yeah, I think that people, I think even from a conceptual standpoint, people are really reductive when they think about millennials. Like, they can't handle complex emotional stories. And I think that this show is a show that says, hey, these are all the complicated things that are going on in the world we live in that millennials have been stuck with. And we address them, and we believe that they're capable of handling complex issues, thoughts, feelings, emotions. And I think that was really, as a person who's clearly not a millennial,
What?
this is why we're paired. He says things like that to me. I think that's one of the really important things. Like, I see, I have a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, and the world that they're living in is way more complicated and harder to find hope and courage and all of those things, because you're bombarded by this 24-hour, 24-second news cycle. And I think Sweet Vicious really looks at the world that we live in and holds up a mirror for kids. Thanks, you guys. Help us. We need people to see it.
Thank you guys. Seriously. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.